I think it's a step in the right direction for us. There's definitely still room for us to explore and find a sound that defines us, but it was the first time that we were 100% happy with what we'd done. The EP name Misguided Youth was taken from a lyric in the song Better Days, which is, "With every path we choose we are misguided in our youth." The EP is about being surrounded by good and bad temptations in life and not necessarily making the right decisions.
We wrote Better Days with Nolly, who we recorded the EP with. We were invited over there to write a song with him and decide whether he was the right guy to go with our next EP to record. After writing the song, we decided he was. The rest of the songs were written by me and Liam. He would write the lyrics, we would then decide on some rough melodies. I'd write some music to go with it, we'd put the melodies and music together, and then when we were happy with that, we'd bring it to the rest of the band for Steve to put drums over and to make any last changes. And then for each song, the process was slightly different. For example, with Walking Blind, Liam had a good idea of the melody he wanted to use anyway, and I wrote the guitar for it straight away and everything just clicked into place nicely, which always seems to happen when we're writing cheesy songs, just like Three Vacant Eyes. And then 22, we wanted to write a slower song for so long and just never could. 22 went through so many changes with demos and different parts and everything, and eventually in the studio it was that we came up with the last idea.
Yeah, we kind of compromised as well because some of us wanted an acoustic song and some of us wanted a full band song, so we had the slow verses and big chorus.
My favourite song from the EP is Wake Me Up. It's our most technical song to play and probably our heaviest one as well, and it just makes it so much more fun to play live. Plus the chorus and the opening riff, it's just so big, I just love it.
For me, my favourite song on the EP would be Better Days. When we first heard the rough bounces of the EP, it was the one that stood out to me, and lyrically I think it's one of our stronger songs. I think music is often something people turn to as a last resort in order to hopefully make them feel better, and obviously it's something we all do with bands. We all listen to music and it often makes us feel more positive and it can help us through difficult times. And I think, although we obviously do what we do because of our mutual love for making music, but I think it's also important to put across some kind of positive message. For me, it's about putting your mistakes behind you and leaving them in the past. The lyrics on the EP aren't always positive, but I do like to think that people will relate to them, and that in itself is a positive thing.
A lot of the time in your younger years you have to make choices and it can feel like you're all alone in the world, but I think this EP tries to tell people that you're not alone and everyone's had to go through all that stuff.
My favourite lyric is in the song Walking Blind. It's "Every bridge I try to burn will rebuild itself someday," and for me that describes the struggle of putting your mistakes behind you and leaving them in the past.
My favourite lyrics from the chorus of Wake Me Up. It says, "Wake me up, because you know that I'll sleep in." I like this lyric because I don't like waking up in the morning.
A lot of the lyrics on the EP reflect upon the past, and really it's my own experiences which have inspired them. I think I'm also inspired by a lot of bands I listen to. I think a lot of bands within the scene are very unfiltered within their writing. Like, a lot of pop punk bands are very honest, and that's always something that I'm trying to do.
In regards to writing, I only really write the music for Highlives songs, so I get inspired by bands that I'm listening to around the time of writing, but things to do with my life and stuff doesn't really come into the equation because I'm only really writing guitar parts. Some of the bands that do inspire me that I listen to quite regularly are Blink-182, A Day to Remember, Neck Deep, Biffy Clyro, and a lot of other bands in that genre. I also like to listen to a lot of hip hop and electronic music as well, so it all depends on what I'm listening to at the time. We'd like to thank my parents for helping out with the financial side of things. Steve's boss for letting us use his warehouse and equipment for the music videos. Joseph Musha for putting us in contact with Nolly, and Nolly for recording us and making our EP sound as good as it does.
So our new EP, Misguided Youth, is available on Bandcamp for free. It's also on Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, anywhere you usually find music. So check it out, download it, and let us know what you think.